you touched on like basically the environment of high-end competition. What are some of the issues that you feel are facing international competition? And I'm very mindful about the fact that there have been these protests and streakers and all sorts of exciting things. No.
So, I mean, the high end of the sport, I mean, the horses get looked after better than anybody, you know. I have to say that, and the love and the passion of some of the grooms. I mean, it's incredible. Their family, you know. So the horses get the osteos, they get the physios, they get nutritionists, they get everything what you could possibly want. So that side of it is brilliant now, you know. The veterinary side of it, I think that side we're really up to speed with. The thing with like everything in life, it's getting quicker and faster all the time, is the amount of shows, which is good because there's amount of people and our sports are growing and the numbers are just outrageous. You can go to the Sunshine Tour, you can go to Oliver, you can go to Arezzo. They are full, thousands of horses. Sure. And then there's still the big leagues, the World Cups, and the 2 4-stars and the 3-stars, and they're all full. So you have this huge amount of people. So we need horse shows, which is, of course, brilliant. But, you know, you're getting more and more of these 5-stars. There's more and more pressure because it's so expensive for riders to win, for owners, you know, to earn money. And I think the horses, what was not in the past, you can show every single weekend throughout the year. So it's the sheer amount of competition. And the horses are just not built to jump 160 every single weekend. And I think that's possibly why we're seeing quite a lot of injuries these days, because it's just the sheer amount of jumping they have to do.
And Oliver, I'm quite interested to hear that there isn't a limitation on how often, like I know with endurance, you can only enter a certain distance within a certain time from another distance. Sinisa in South Africa, you know, you're only allowed to do a certain amount of classes with a pony a day. Is there no limitation governing that?
No. So on the FEI show, you're allowed to do 3 classes on the weekend. That's the only sort of limiting factor. But it's also, I mean, it plays in your hands. If you want to go and jump too much and your horse gets injured, that's also a disaster. You know, so people are not... There's a fine line of doing too much, but, you know, people are, you know, top riders, you're not going to go and jump your horse every weekend because they're going to get injured. And they just can't sustain that level, of course not. But still, even if it's not about even a cruelty thing, but I think is definitely more competition, you know, and the jumps are bigger and more fast. You used to be able to jump a clear in a 5-star Grand Prix or double clear and be in the top 3. Now, you know, some of the World Cups and that there's 15, 16, 17 people clear in the first round. And then there's a big jump off and you don't end up with any money. So I think that the level has just got on such a high standard now that the guys, you know, you do chase them more than in the past. So it does take a lot out of the horses. I've heard things from the breeding, you know, we've bred them to be a little weaker now. There's so evolved into the show jump. I'm not a breeder. I don't know if that's true. I do think that also, I don't know if it's a scientific fact, that, you know, we all have this amazing ground now, all these perfect grounds. And nearly, and maybe in some way, I think a lot of people, you know, we used to jump on grass and ride over ruts and in the woods and outrides. A lot of people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. They're not cross-training enough almost on surfaces.
No. A lot of my workouts with the horses, I try and have a varied workout. So I ride them in the woods on uneven grounds. We built a hill at home, 3 meters high, 25 meters long for inclination work for the joints and the muscles. So I try to mix it up as much as possible. Bit of road work. Yeah, it's just a bit of old horsemanship, I guess. It doesn't have to be, you know, all the big, of course, nice, the big fancy stables and the bandages everywhere and this obsession, which you need, of course, because it's all the fine details. But also, at the end of the day, it's still a horse. And it doesn't matter if you're 10 million euro or €1, it doesn't matter. You know, it's still got the same brain as the other one, and it poops and it eats, and it's a living animal, you know. So I think that would be a really good thing if a lot of the top show jumpers get behind and sort of push in that direction of it. Because I think, you know, some people have this imagination of what top sport is, and they get a little bit lost in it. You know?